It's now time for Party Chat Sports.
The only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
After 18 weeks, multiple games played. I have no idea how many regular season games were played.
272.
Thank you, Math Whiz over there. 32 teams get to play this magical sport. Now we are down to 14 as the playoffs are here. We're getting ready to talk about the wild card round of the NFL playoffs. Welcome in, everybody, to Party Chat Sports. I'm Gill. We got Dillon Schroeder. We got Drew Nelson. Cam is off watching probably Interstellar or The Notebook or Gilmore Girls or whatever he decided, whatever they're all
We'll
watching.
see if he makes a surprise appearance.
I'm interested to see what they are watching. What
It better
his
be good.
excuses.
That's
It
all
better
I'm
be
saying.
good.
It better be fantastic.
It better not be like some bum ass. I can't think of bad movies at the top of my head right now. Like Napoleon Dynamite. If they're watching Napoleon Dynamite over this, I'd be a little pissed. But we're not going to talk about that. We already spent too much time talking about that.
I do
because
like
we do
Napoleon
have-
Dynamite, though.
It's a good movie.
Yeah,
It's a
I
good
feel like
movie.
That's
But
a
I
little
feel
bit
like
too
that
much
was a
Napoleon
poor
Dynamite.
decision. It was a poor decision on your part.
But the thing is, I've seen Napoleon Dynamite 10 times, so I'm not going to skip this for
Right.
Napoleon Dynamite now.
I think Napoleon Dynamite's a fine movie. It's a dumb movie.
Hey, you know what
And that-
though?
it's
We're not a
funny.
Napoleon Dynamite. We're not a Napoleon Dynamite podcast. So we're
No,
good.
we are not.
Not
We are
yet.
Party Chat Sports. We are here to talk about football and the NFL round or the NFL
Gil,
wild card
hold
round.
on. Let me cut
Whoa,
you
whoa,
off
whoa,
real
whoa,
quick.
whoa, whoa.
I really wish Cam was here, but I got something I want to show you.
Ooh.
I was really hoping Cam was here, but I can't. I've already got it, so I can't back out now. So let me
Oh man.
I'm scared.
Oh man. Oh no.
I'm scared.
stand up here. Let me stand up here. I got a little something for you.
Oh.
There you go. Check that out.
He's playing the
That's
flag.
pretty cool, huh? That's pretty slick, huh?
Look
Damn.
at that.
Yeah,
Oh,
we got
Cam's
that.
gonna love that.
So
If Cam shows up, we're gonna have to redo that. But
We are.
I'll gladly laugh at it twice.
You ain't watching this, so I can do it next time.
Yeah.
So last night was like WWE's debut on Netflix, and The Rock shows up, and in the background you see like the whatever it was like over 1,000 days or whatever since Ohio State's beat in Michigan. Somebody had a sign. This is in LA.
Yep.
And there's a sign.
Dang.
Somebody had a sign that says Ohio State hasn't beat Michigan in so many days, and it was clear as day. And can't escape it. It's
That's
pretty
funny.
tragic. We're going to get into some positive stuff because I'm done being depressed as a football fan. Okay, my team's done playing for the year. Thank God for that. Let's talk about the teams that are playing this weekend in particular. 12 of the 14 remaining do play this weekend with a wild card starting on Saturday. And there's some interesting matchups, I think. There's a few that could be duds, and we get this every year, what the wild card, where, like, the Vikings are a wild card team. In most years, you're probably looking at a 14-win wild card team and thinking, wow, they should be able to dominate. But with who their opponent is, this could be a fun matchup with the Vikings and the Rams. And
I don't think there will be any duds. I'm gonna just say that.
that's
I think
I worry-
every game has the potential to be good.
potentially, yes, but I do worry about this first game off the riff because I don't know who the Houston Texans are right now. That's your 4:30 game on Saturday.
They are a
They're
bad
hosting. They're hosting the Chargers, and the Chargers are just a pounded down your throat kind of team, and they're going to run. They're going to make you have to stop them defensively, and I don't know if C.J. Stroud's that guy to do it this year, like we all hoped he would be.
It makes me depressed the Steelers are not playing in that game.
All you had to do was win.
Yeah,
They had to do.
we'll talk about that later. But Texans, Chargers, I think this is shaping up to be a good game for the Chargers. Herbert's second ever playoff game. His first playoff game didn't end how he would have liked it, with the 28-0 collapse, I think it was, or 29-3,
No,
something like that.
it was something like that. Yeah.
It was bad. So I think the Chargers are going to win this game. I'm gonna just start off with my prediction early, and then you guys can fill in. But I do have the Chargers in this one. Houston has just been playing so bad. They're the one team that might be playing worse than the Steelers in the playoffs at the moment. We'll talk about them probably next, but yeah, I think this is a game LA can easily win, and they're favored, I believe.
I'm looking at the favorites
Chargers.
right now.
Favored by 3 on the road.
So that really means 6 because I think 3-point. They always give the home team 3. I think that's how like betting works. They always give the home team like a 3-point. So if
usually
the road, that's crazy. But that's what you get. I mean, they're coming from a weak ass division in the AFC South, and that's what you get when you have like the division winners getting these home team or home games. That's why there's people that want to argue.
I'm glad
like,
you brought that up.
There's people that want to argue.
I think we should get rid of that.
I don't either. I think it makes it because then it's like the college football play or like I don't like
just
college
to
football.
Clarify, we're on board. Keep it how it is.
I'm on board.
Okay,
Division
I
winners
was
get a
also
home
going to
game.
say
Because it
something like that
incentivizes
as
winning
well.
your division. It's like in college football, I don't like when I liked when you had East-West divisions because it makes those games matter a little bit more. Now I understand like with the whole realignment, it's a little bit more difficult to do that. But it makes it like, okay, well, you have to win your division. Because then you're in like a Vikings-Lions spot where you come down to week 18 and that game, everything was on the line for those two teams. You had the number one seed. You had home field advantage. That's exactly how it should be. That's the difference between you hosting, and that's what we talked about. That's why I gifted the Vikings Hercules in our Christmas episode because they needed that win over the Lions, or else they were going to be on the road. I love that because it incentivizes winning those division games. It incentivizes doing that.
Yeah, no, I mean the NFL has the perfect playoff system for their league. I don't think it should change. People were mad when they added a 7th wild card team, but I think that's perfectly fine.
I like
it. I think you should 100% get awarded for winning your division. If not, why even have them? And that would just be dumb.
Yeah.
So
then you're just doing AFC versus NFC, and like again, exactly
And
right there.
That one, who's that one dude on Nick Wright's show that was crying about how it wasn't fair to the Bengals that the Broncos
Bart
got
Scott.
that is the
Scott.
softest, dumb stuff I've ever heard, dude. What do you mean it's not fair to the Bengals?
Don't lose to the Patriots, man.
Yeah, exactly. How about you don't go like 1-5 to start the season, whatever it was. Probably wasn't that bad. But
so
it was
that
pretty bad.
first game of the year,
I think
the
it was
Bengals-Patriots
that
game.
bad, actually.
The Bengals-Patriots game, the implications that game had at the beginning of the year. That's why the NFL, winning in the NFL week to week matters more than any other sport. You can lose one game in the MLB. You can lose one game in the NBA. I mean, hell, you're not using your starting pitcher most of the season in the MLB because you don't need to. You have players in the NBA that are resting because you don't need to win all those games. You're not going to see that in the NFL because every game matters going back to week 1, where the Patriots winning and the Bengals losing, that's the difference between the Bengals being in the playoffs or not being in the playoffs and the Patriots having the first overall pick and not having the first overall pick. The NFL that's why it's king. It is the perfect system for what it needs to be. Now, there's a few tweaks that can be made to schedule. If you want to debate, is 7 a good number of playoff teams per conference? I mean, we can have those little debates, but changing the overall landscape of everything is not needed. It is perfectly okay, I think.
And back to the Chargers and the Texans. We were talking about them. Yeah, the Texans. The Texans are the team on the AFC side that everyone wanted to play. That is who you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
If you were going to pick out the perfect matchup for you to play Week 1, it was the Texans. They're not playing good football. They have the capability to be a good team, and you've seen spurts of it throughout the year, but they've never once had a game this year where they look like a dominant contender. And I think the Chargers are just going to manhandle them. Chargers they've been doing pretty well as of late, but really all season they've been doing pretty well. They got a good defense.
They got the number 1 scoring defense, I think. I could be wrong, but I know they're top.
It's up there.
2.
I don't know if it's 1, but it's up there. So,
Well, I mean, when you're in the conference with the Titans, the Jaguars, the Colts, like that's going to make your defensive statistics look better when you're going up against offenses that just don't play well. That's 6 games
No,
right
this
there.
talking about
This
the
is the Chargers. This is the Chargers,
I
Chief.
thought we were talking about the Texans. I was looking at the Texans' schedule. You are correct. I'm like, there's no way the Texans have that, but I'm going to roll with it.
Texans defense isn't
It's
bad.
not terrible, but
They were good for periods of the season.
Chargers are the number 1 scoring defense in the league.
that's why Jesse Minter, his first year in the NFL, first year, I think he was with the Ravens and Michigan, and first year as a defensive coordinator in the NFL. That's why a couple weeks ago there was like, is he going to get some interviews? It doesn't look like he's getting any head coaching interviews yet.
Not yet, but
he's going
probably next year.
Probably next year.
I mean, if you think about the Chargers, we'll just talk about the Chargers for a second. With Brandon Staley, they were terrible, and they had the same basically.
And he was a defensive guy. He was a defensive guy too.
Their defense isn't it's not like it got overhauled. It's pretty much the same pieces.
I mean, there's a few additions.
It went from I don't even remember what they were last year, maybe average at best to bad.
Yeah.
And now they're
elite.
Something's happening in my ears right now. And now they're the best scoring defense in the league. So there was like a ringtone coming through my earbuds.
You were blinking for a second, but we'll keep going.
It
weird.
blacked out.
All right.
Yeah, no, they're really good though. Yeah.
Well, that's the Jim Harbaugh effect too. There's a reason teams have been trying to get Harbaugh to come back to the NFL for years, and it was going to take the perfect situation for them. That's why, the Bears should have fired Eberflus last year because that's where Harbaugh allegedly, by reports or whatever, wanted to go, was Chicago. Harbaugh being there for Herbert, yeah, his stats aren't going to always be the greatest. He's not going to throw a lot because he's just a run the ball.
He still had a great year, though. He threw, 23 tutties to 3 interceptions. It was, the best ratio of all time in Chargers history.
And look at his receivers.
Yeah. Lab McConkey, that's it. Quentin Johnson.
He had a bounce-back year from a terrible rookie season.
He actually he finished strong. He
was okay, but they still, that's going to be a fun Chargers team. The biggest issue with the Chargers, they're just in the division with the Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. That's the biggest issue. And you also have another playoff team in that division right now too. And the Broncos I will get to in a little bit, but that division right now looks scary. Could
quietly, guess what Quentin Johnson's stats were? I don't know if you saw this on Twitter.
Was he a 1,000-yard receiver?
No, just last game.
Last game.
Oh no! Last game he was 12 catches, 100 and something, and a tutty or something.
13 catches, 186 yards.
Yeah, he went nuclear.
Targets.
I saw on TikTok it was Quentin Johnson in Week 18, and it was Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, Julio, Larry Fitzgerald, AB.
Remember when that dude couldn't catch a single pass, and now he's catching 13 in the game?
Well,
I think the poor guy, honestly, you only saw his bad drops. He was fine, but he made bad clutch drops.
That was the biggest,
But they're I mean, that team's good, man. So JK is back.
They got Zeke.
They got Zeke now. He touches the ball 5 times or less, I guarantee it. But it's fine.
There's a Cowboys account that is beating their chest about being right about Zeke not being washed because the Chargers signed him to their practice squad.
What?
He thinks that means that he still got it.
It's when Dalvin Cook was signed to a practice squad.
Yeah,
the Ravens.
Yeah, he's on the Cowboys right now.
Yeah.
Whatever, man.
I remember Dalvin Cook had 1 carry for 18 yards or something like that in a playoff game last year. And Twitter's the Jets shouldn't have gotten rid of him. He still has juice in him. That's 1 carry. What do you do the rest of the game?
My official score prediction for this game is Chargers 27, Texans 13.
That sounds about right. The over-under is 42.5.
Maybe I'll keep track of this. We'll do a little game.
I mean, the Chargers 33. Texans 17.
Give me Chargers 24, Texans 13.
All right, so you're real close to me there. That felt like a Price is Right type of guess.
I'm a gambling man. I'm a smart gambling man. Not really. I haven't won it.
I don't know how we're going to
Fucking bet
determine
in
a winner
years.
here, but I'm just going to write all this down.
Thanks.
We'll come
All
back
right.
to it next week. We'll see how we did. But yeah, we're all in agreement. Like, the Texans are losing this game, right?
It'd be cool if they did,
should.
though. I mean,
I would love to see C.J. Stroud, that light, like, flick back on real quick. It's like, oh, shit. I can't go back to my rookie mode again.
not if Slowick has anything to say about it. Anyway, I'm sure we'll have time to talk about the Texans during the offseason and if they had a successful or non-successful season.
Probably. The biggest thing I'm looking forward to is seeing Justin Herbert in another playoff game.
I wish I got to see a Justin in a playoff game.
That's going to be the next one, actually. Is
You'll
he going
see
to play?
him. He'll be
Is
on
he
the
going to play?
sidelines.
They're saying there's a chance.
Yeah.
It's a
Dumb and
chance
Dumber.
for a third down carry.
That's all he's going to get. He's going to
Third
get
and one, and the entire stadium knows he's going to keep it. He's going to take a shot to the ribs and be out for the game.
He's going to
Yeah.
get the Tim Tebow package with the Jets, where he's just in there running. I call it a wildcat because really it kind of is when you have.
He throws, though, so that's a difference.
Will he, though?
He's thrown once, I think, out of his 13 snaps he's gotten since being benched. He threw one time, and it was incomplete. It was a deep ball on 3rd and 1.
It's a bold
Get
strategy.
him in some Taysom Hill packages.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah.
Ravens won't see
No.
it coming.
Anyways, yeah, Steelers-Ravens, let's just dive in. I have the Steelers losing this game 17-20. Just going on a limb and saying it's going to be a close game. Steelers-Ravens usually is. And it'll be like a Justin Tucker field goal or something. You know, he'll be back in his world. Yeah, the game will be closer than the 9.5 that they're giving the Ravens right now, I believe. Like I said, they usually are. Steelers beat them once this year. Ravens won once. That Ravens game was close until the pick six that Russ threw. So as long as he doesn't do that and fumble on the goal line again, they may be close. I've harped enough about Russell Wilson. I don't want to talk about him anymore. Just hoping that playing your biggest rival in a playoff game kind of gets you going a little bit, kind of cleans up some of the intensity stuff, and that's all I can do.
How much did you talk about Russ in your Steelers video? That's currently on YouTube.
That was the point. That was the point. It's the title. The picture said Russ ain't it because he's not. My biggest takeaway from that was both Russ and Justin had played 2 top 5 scoring defenses. Justin played the Chargers and the Broncos. Russ played the Eagles and the Chiefs. Fields is 2-0, and Russ is 0-2. I feel like that's a pretty important statistic. Points per game against top 5 scoring offenses or defenses. Justin was like 17. Russ was 11. I don't think 11 is a good points per game number.
Sure.
So, And there's been Steelers Twitter has been all over the place of start Fields, don't start Fields. Russ hasn't deserved his job. Russ isn't deserving to get benched. Fields got benched at 4-2, so I don't know why Russ wouldn't deserve to get benched at 6-5. But that's just my take. I've been a Fields truther all year, so if the defense comes to play like that's like they're supposed to, it'll be a good game. No
It
Zay
should be a
Flowers.
good game.
No Zay Flowers, I believe.
I don't know if that's confirmed. I think they're saying
It's
like
not
day to day,
confirmed,
right?
but it's likely. It's not confirmed, but it's likely.
It's probably one of those situations where if the game was being played on Sunday, which you guys haven't played a Sunday game in like a month.
Yeah, December 15th was our last Sunday game. I forgot like what a normal Sunday red zone looked like. It's kind of a bummer.
What do you mean it's a bummer? You get to watch Red Zone.
Yeah, you get
Well,
to.
yeah, I
only
got to watch
Red
red zone, but usually it's like my team and red zone. It didn't feel like a normal NFL Sunday, you know. I did win two fantasy championships though, so just saying.
Yeah, but you didn't win the pick'ems.
You're right. You went on a save and run.
I won 1 year of the pick'ems. I've won 2 years of pick'ems. I've now won 3 straight years of the pick'ems. I'm not saying I'm the GOAT, but put some
I
respect
think we
on
need to enter
Gill's
some
name.
pick'ems competitions next year.
We should. We really should.
Because
Actually.
the podcast that used to be the dudes from PFF now have their own podcast, not part of PFF. Anyways, I listen to them. They do a pick'ems contest with their listeners. The winner had 150, right?
I
Something
think
like
we
that.
all topped that.
56.
I'm pretty
Dude,
sure
we
the
were
three of
all
us
at
all.
like the
I came in
180s.
third. I had
Yeah.
185.
Yeah. Bro, we would have
think
raked it in, man.
Cam would have won that one.
And
That's
he
crazy.
doesn't even pick.
Cam missed 2 weeks and he had 153. Anyway,
No, he had 154. Kate
Dang.
had 143. I had 196. Dillon with 190. Drew with
you almost put
185.
up 200. You almost got 200 right. That's insane numbers.
That's going to be the next goal. Who can
That's
hit
the next
200?
goal,
Under
200.
200. Yeah.
I'm looking at the weeks. Like there was. Hold on. 1, 2, 3.
Well, me and you
Fourth.
both went perfect in a week, didn't we?
Yep, same
The
week.
first perfect ever, and we both do it.
And Drew was
we gained no ground.
Drew was 1 game off from perfect
Yeah.
that week too.
Yes.
That was just a crazy week.
I had only had 5 weeks where I didn't pick where I didn't have double digit wins. Of those 5, 4 of them I had 9.
That's a Penn State type of stat. I'm not gonna lie. Every Super Bowl except for 5. Anyway,
I'm just saying, like,
what's your guys'
double digits.
feel on Steelers Ravens? I've talked enough
24,
about it.
24, 19.
Who's got 24?
The Ravens.
I think I know. All right.
I think
They're
it's going to
kicking
be.
a lot of field goals, and that's it.
I'm thinking like 31-20. You guys, the last 2
Dang.
games that were played, Steelers put up 17 and then 18 points in those 2 games. So I think 20 for you guys is doable. 31, I just think it's going to be close at the end, and it's going to be like, oh, Steelers still have a chance, and then Derrick Henry is going to break one loose at the end. That's going to make it a double or 2-score game. I think it's going to be closer than the score shows. But Vegas knows what they're doing. 9.5 points.
You're taking the
They
9.
got to cover.
Huh?
Give me the 9.5 on that game. Give me 31-20. Ravens over the Steelers. Lamar also has something to prove this year. He had it to prove last year, but this is a year where if he's really going to be a 3-time MVP, he better damn well win a Super Bowl in the next year or so.
He's played like 1 good playoff game and he's played 4 bad ones. So
He's got to step it up, and it starts with a run against the Steelers.
Yeah.
I think.
We don't hear enough, honestly, about the. We hear a lot about how Lamar's bad in the playoffs, but not enough. It's time. It's time
he
to
was
get
like
some hate for it.
0-3, 0-4 for a little bit.
Stealing the MVP award last year because his team was better, had a better record, even though the stats weren't as good. But this year, the stats are better, even though the other candidate has a better team record. And all of a sudden, that's what matters. Yeah, we just keep moving goalposts around here. Every year, it's something different. So I'm
just
sick of
anti-Cowboys
Lamar.
agenda, man.
I'm sick of Lamar. He doesn't deserve another MVP. I don't care, man. You got a free one last year. Give it to someone else who is actually deserving. Josh Allen is carrying. He doesn't have all-world Derrick Henry standing next to him.
He has no 1,000-yard player other than himself.
So yeah, get that Lamar MVP out of my face, dude. You got to win 3 playoff games where you can have 3 MVPs.
That's a good point, honestly.
I think Greeny was on Pat McAfee earlier, and they asked him like, who's his MVP, and he said Josh Allen, probably because a lot of times MVP voters are just like, all right, whose time is it to win? So even if Lamar probably deserves it for 2024, he's already won 2. Josh Allen, it's probably his time to win it, so he's probably going to win it.
And I hate doing that, but I have to, because last year was such a fluke that it's set me down the wrong course. So now I'm a
You
hater.
haven't been the same since.
Now I'm a hater.
Neither are the Cowboys.
It's true.
That's really what set the franchise back, was Dak not winning that MVP. If Dak wins the MVP, we're looking at
We were doing good. We were doing good up until then. Yeah.
Man, That would have, man, everything would have changed.
29
All
years
right.
of success up until that point.
Next one, I think we've established it'll be something if the Steelers win this game. I think it's doable because
It would be something.
It is.
of all the
it's a
teams,
division game.
Yeah, it's the Ravens, and we go back to you've beat them, whatever it is, 8 out of the last 10 times. Like, it's doable. You gotta play a perfect game. You can't be giving the ball away. Russ, both
Right.
times he's played the Ravens this year, has a goal line turnover. You can't do that. He got lucky the first time. He didn't get lucky the second time. You can't do it. So yeah, we'll see if Fields plays. I hope he does. People have been saying like 5 to 7 snaps. I would put him in very first play of the game, and then when they load the box, because they're all like, "Oh, read option," I'd throw it deep to Pickens. Just see what happens. It may not be completed, but that's what I
He's
would
going to
do.
be fighting someone else.
I was
and
just
he's
about to
not
ask
gonna catch the ball.
who's Pickens punching? Who's he hitting?
Marlon Humphrey, probably. Yeah. I got a lot to unpack about that whole situation. I'll save that for the offseason.
No, do it now.
No, I can't. This game will determine a lot of that outcome. It's kind of a legacy game here. A lot's going to be determined based on the bounce back of 14 and how he acts and the performance of this playoff game.
So, Dillon, it's been 9 years since the Steelers won a playoff game?
7.
What year did you win a playoff game?
20.
Well, was it the 16 season you won it at 17?
I think it was a 17 season. We won it in 18.
I don't know about that.
I'm looking it up.
I could be wrong. I'll admit I don't know it off the top of my head.
Last
I
won a
should.
playoff game, January 15th, 2017, during the 2016 NFL season.
Yeah.
So
We were in high school.
8 years. Okay.
We were in high school, man.
I was going to say, we're getting a little close to 10. Getting a little close to 10.
Hey, at least we've been there, man. I'm gonna say that.
You have been there, yeah.
So, yeah, our last win was against the Chiefs, actually.
That's right. That was an all field goal. Like, I think the Chiefs only had field goals in that
It
game.
was 18 to 16. It was 18 to 16.
And they almost
Wow.
won it by not scoring a touchdown.
Yeah, but Steelers are the kings of winning with no touchdowns. So, and then we got
Wait,
blown
that's
up by the Patriots the next game,
Good
and
times.
then
good
a
times.
string of disappointment after that. So, yeah.
Huh. Wonder what that's like. Well,
Moving on.
You know what disappointment's
This-
like.
Yeah,
This-
you don't gotta act surprised.
the Steelers haven't won a playoff game in what we say 8-7 years.
Sure.
The Broncos, this is their first time making the playoffs in pretty much that same amount of time. They have a tough matchup though. The 1:00 game on Sunday against the Bills. I would love to say the Bo Nix can play spoiler, but
If there was
In Buffalo?
any defense though that would be advantageous to this, I've read a lot about it, is the Broncos. They're very good against the run, and they got PS2, who is now the leading odds on favorite for Defensive Player of the Year, rightfully so, I would say. He's played great, best corner in the league, and so they got that guy out there locking up whoever the Bills throw out there, and then their interior of their defense is strong. They are the number 3 scoring defense in the league. So I've read a lot that if anyone could do it, it might just be the Broncos.
I know what's crazy? The Broncos' odds to win are better than the Steelers' odds to win this week.
It's not that crazy. We don't got
The
to
Broncos
really.
are 8.5 point underdogs. The Steelers are 9.5 against a division rival and the Ravens.
It's not that crazy. It's not that
We
crazy.
sure?
Yeah.
It's really crazy.
We've seen how Russ has played for 4 weeks in a row. It's not that crazy. We've seen
The
it.
Broncos a 7 seed against a 2 seed.
I don't care. The Broncos at least show signs of life. If the Steelers were in that game against the Chiefs with their playoff hopes on the line, they're winning that game 19 to 16. Okay, and they're crawling in. They're stumbling into the playoffs. God, man.
Fair enough.
If the Broncos defense keeps them in the game, they've got a chance. But
Dude, the Steelers
still
were
like-
11-0, and they lost to like Ryan Finley or whoever that Bengals quarterback was on the QB sneak, and he was laying on the ground like this. Do you remember that?
no.
It
I'm
was
not
right after
traumatized
they
by that
lost to
play.
the Redskins. A terrible Redskins team. Then they lost to the third string quarterback of the Bengals, and to win the game, he went for it on 4th and 1 QB sneak, and the camera shot is him lying on the end of the ground, just smiling at the camera like sideways. Sad. Moving on.
We're talking about the Broncos and the Bills now.
Yeah,
You brought him up, not me. So
I'm just
I
pointing
still
out
like the
statistics
Bills, though.
and
I
betting
still like the
odds.
Bills.
yeah, I do too.
What do we think the point's going to look like? The over-under in this one's 47.5. I just think Bo is probably going to throw an interception, or probably I put his interception number at 1.5. His first playoff game in Buffalo.
I got Bills 24-17. I think it's one possession.
That was close to what I was going to say.
Defensive stuff going on.
Give me 28-17.
Dude, you keep prices right in me.
I'm going to go.
Did I go over your? You said 24-17.
Yeah,
I went over.
I don't know.
Over.
Give me 27-21 Bills.
All right. I like it.
So we all think it's going to be closer.
Yes. Defense is important in this time of
Gill's,
year.
Gill's cooking up his parlay right now. He's like betting the under. betting the Broncos to cover.
Yeah.
Betting Broncos to cover under 47.5. Well, actually,
I'm actually gonna cook up that parlay, but I'm gonna move the line and give Broncos like plus 14.5. We're gonna be fine.
Okay, bud.
Yeah, you can do that on ESPN Bet.
Minus 500 odds.
Probably, but I'll throw another couple of things in there, like Bo Nix more than 10 passing attempts, stuff like that.
Are you saying
25
that-
legs.
5 legs.
Auto
That's
win,
crazy.
man. It's auto
Go
win.
Bills. Go Bills.
Yep.
All right, I'm cool with not talking much more
It's
about the Bills.
It's the Bills' time, though. It's the Bills' time, I think. We've harped on them for many years that their championship window is closed, but as long as they got that QB, it's open.
It's crazy. These two teams both think they have quarterbacks. I'm not sure if they do. The Packers, Eagles, they're the midday game on Sunday, 4:30. The Eagles have looked good as of late. I will give them that. Jalen Hurts probably cleared concussion protocol by then, but
I'd hope so.
he should.
He's been out for a minute. He's been out for 2 weeks.
2 games.
Yeah.
2 full
Yeah.
games.
I think the Eagles ultimately win this one. I trust the Eagles more than I trust Jordan Love.
I just don't like the Packers, man. I'm not.
I
Not
think the
bought in.
Eagles.
If it was Cowboys
cook the
Packers, then Packers win by 50. But it's not the Cowboys, so the Packers are going to lose. Look like they've never played football before.
So like 35-17? 35.
I don't
Is
know
that
if I like
your- is that your
35
guess?
for the Eagles? I like maybe.
Hold on, before I make that
Maybe
the official.
31.
Yeah, I'm in that.
31-24 maybe. No, 31-21.
Hold on, let's see what the Eagles are
Dude.
putting up.
I was going to say like 31-21 or something. No, I'll go even worse.
I mean,
I'll go
I'll say
31. I'll go 31-17 Eagles.
I'll take 35-17 still. I think Saquon goes off. He's got that extra rest. He's going to have a good game.
It's criminal.
I understand like not wanting to put him in harm's way to get hurt, but it's the Giants.
If I'm
You would have had
on the
100.
brink, if I'm on the brink of etching my name into NFL history like that, I'm going on the field.
Yeah.
I'm on
It's
the
not
field.
even-
What are you gonna do about it?
And it's just
I'm suited up. I'm on the field. What are you gonna do about it? I'm carrying the rock. I don't
and it's
care.
not just your record too. It's the offensive line's record. Like if you look at like the Chargers players,
Yeah.
that Chargers offensive line when LT won, where he broke the passing or the total touchdowns or rushing
Total
touchdowns record.
Total touchdowns.
He had like 30 or something.
Yeah, whenever you
Okay.
broke that, like
It wasn't that.
the entire offensive line celebrated that, like because they did. That's their
Dude, imagine
record
that
too.
fantasy season. That'd be crazy.
I think it's
What'd
got
you say
be
for your Packers score, Drew?
21.
21. 21.
31-21.
21.
Okie dokie. It's in there. Yeah, no, I think the Eagles go crazy. It's going to be in Philly, hostile environment. Green Bay just lost to Chicago, a game they were trying to win. So I don't think it's close.
31 touchdowns for LT, by the way,
That's a
for
lot.
the season.
It's so
It's
crazy.
more than Herbert threw for this year.
I think the last Jet to
That's
throw
a good
for that.
passing year. That's a good passing year.
I think the last Jet to
31
throw for
touchdowns.
30 touchdowns was Ryan Fitzpatrick in 2015.
Wow.
Put that in
I've
You
said
know
it.
who
I've
didn't
said it
throw
all
30
year.
touchdowns? Lamar
What?
Jackson when he won MVP last year.
That's actually insane, man. That's insane. It was
All right,
robbed.
moving
It was
on.
robbery. I've never been on board with the Packers, and I've been on board with Jordan Love's not that serious for like a year
Is
and a half
Toyota
now.
Thon
so.
still going, or is that over?
I think it's over. I think
It's
it was.
over, man.
It's
He
good.
played bad. He didn't play that great against the Bears
And he
before he
got
got hurt. Before he got hurt, I don't think he was playing that great.
Christian Watson, ACL, he's gone. He's not really that good.
Oh
anyways,
yeah,
but
they're
done
they're
anyways.
done.
Jair Alexander's out. He's out for the season. He had knee surgery or something.
They're done, dude. They're so done.
So I'm logged into FanDuel right now just because I'm looking at the odds on my phone. I got a
You're scheming
reality
up.
check. I got a reality check saying, we're glad you're enjoying FanDuel Sportsbook. There was a glare. That's why I took it away. Just so you know, you have been playing for 30 minutes. You have wagered $0 since you logged in. Reality check.
They said, "Show me the money, man."
If
Yeah.
you're, we
About
appreciate
to
you
kick
being
you
on
off
the
the
app,
servers.
but
You're
please
wasting our
spend some
server
money.
capacity.
Taking up the spot.
I'm cooking up a
Well, it's
monster
better than
100
putting
legger.
the hotline number up there for you.
Eagles
This is
Eagles
the
are only
100th
favored
time
by
you signed in
4.5.
today.
I
by
think
the
Call
way.
the hotline.
I think it did have a hotline. I think it did at the bottom. I closed out of it.
They just think you're sitting there in the room just staring at your phone like, I need it.
We're cooking up the perfect parlay. I just need,
Also, Eagles 4.5 is free money, by the way.
yeah. The bigger question
Could
would
be.
be the over under 45.5. And I trust the Eagles to do their part. I wouldn't trust the Packers to. I mean, I did.
Did any of us pick scores that would give us? Yes.
We all were under, or we all were
Oh, it was
over.
45.5. Yes.
We all were
We're all
over.
over.
If this line doesn't hit, it's going to be on the Packers, not the Eagles.
Probably.
And then the last game of Wild Card Weekend.
That's not true. Sorry.
Nope.
Burst your bubble.
Last game on Sunday. Commanders Buccaneers. We get Mike Evans first, Marshawn Lattimore again. Classic matchup between those two. Also, there's people that were a little irritated about how Mike Evans got his 1,000 yards. I don't care how he got it. He still got
Whatever,
it.
dude. Whatever. He
He
missed
still
like
got it.
3 games. He missed 3
Right.
games. They could have stopped him. So
They
what?
could have. Everybody knew where the ball was going.
The clocks aren't zero. It's play football, you know? Who cares?
But
It's
anyways,
not my favorite Hall of Fame bid that I've ever seen in my life, but it is what it is.
I mean, he is a Hall of Famer. But
he has a ring, 1,000
He's
yards, 11 straight years now.
He's like Terry McLaurin. He's the
No.
Jerry Rice of Terry McLaurin's.
No. No.
You might be.
No.
the Jerry Rice of Terry McLaurin's, though.
Has
That's
Mike
the,
Evans ever been a top 2 to 3 wide receiver in the league?
No, never.
Probably.
No.
When?
He's definitely been top 5.
That's not what the
Probably
question
top
No.
was.
5 some years.
I'm trying to think.
Give me his best. Hold on. We'll go to his best year
Because
statistically.
there was a year where,
Listen, I'm not hating on Mike Evans. I'm just saying, everyone's
right.
saying he's first ballot Hall of Fame. I'm like,
His best year
Like,
statistically
okay,
was
maybe.
2018. He had 1,500 yards, 8 touchdowns, 86 catches. He's never had a 100-yard reception season, by the way.
you mean 100
Um,
reception season?
Yeah, you knew what I meant as soon as I said it. 2018
2018.
receiving leaders. His other good year was 2015, where he had more
I don't care
touchdowns.
about next gen stats, bro. Just show me the receiving.
He was third. He was third in yards, but he had about 20 less receptions. Didn't lead in touchdowns. I don't know, man.
Oh yeah, Julio, DeAndre Hopkins.
If we go back to 2015 when he had 12 tutties, he didn't even lead in that year either. He was way down the list. He was below guys like Calvin, Larry Fitz, AJ Green. AB, Julio.
Yeah, some of that too is just the quarterback play for him hasn't been good since up until
Brady.
Tom Brady got there.
I mean, he had Winston, man. He was slinging it.
Winston was slinging it. I'll give you that.
I mean, he was
Mike
slinging
Evans
it.
may not be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I'll agree with that. It depends on who else is in that class that year. But he's a Hall of Famer. And whenever you make the argument about who's a Hall of Famer, not everybody's a first ballot. Most people aren't. But he will be a Canton at some point. And I think he deserves to be there at some point.
His Hall of Fame score, which Pro Football Focus has a nice Hall of Fame score, is 69, which honestly, there's a lot of players above him with higher Hall of Fame scores that are not in the Hall of Fame. Guys like Anquan Bolden, D-Hop,
He'll be
Hines Ward. Devontae Adams actually has a higher score than he does. Brandon Marshall. So, maybe.
Devontae Adams will be a Hall of Famer. Brandon Marshall's big thing was he never played a playoff game.
There's
That's
a lot
not his
of
fault.
Wide receiver is a very tough position to get in.
It is.
Because there's so many that each year are eligible, newly eligible. Like Larry Fitz is coming up soon. He's not in yet. Reggie Wayne isn't in yet. Torrey Holt's not in yet. Julio's not in yet. Antonio Brown's not in yet. Whether he makes it in, who knows. But Steve Smith isn't in yet. There's a lot of, like I said, Hines Ward, Anquan Bolden. So there's a lot of competition at receiver. From a yards perspective, he's in good company with 12,000. But he has the same stats roughly as Hines Ward right now. And Hines Ward is not in. So.
Damn.
Hines Ward is in Arizona, though. Works so.
Yeah. Hines Ward should be a Hall of Famer, though. So, I mean, there's a lot. It's tough. Hines Ward has 1,000 career receptions. He's one of only a handful of guys to do that.
Yeah, dude was a dog. He should be in. It's a shame he's not in there yet.
And he survived Heinz Field exploding in Batman.
He did, actually. And he scored. He scored on that play.
He did, yeah. While the field was blowing up. That should get you in automatically.
Yeah.
So, anyways, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah,
Commanders, Buccaneers. Commanders, Buccaneers.
My bad. I'm taking
I don't
the
know
Bucs.
how I feel.
I'm taking the Bucs.
I'm taking the Bucs too.
Playoff Baker, he averages over 330 yards a game. So I think it's going to go nuts. I think Jaden Daniels will play fine. If there was a game where I think the upset could happen, because technically the upset is Commanders, they're +3.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's this one, or the next one we'll talk about. But I think it's this one where it's most likely to happen.
I just worry it's difficult for me to trust rookie quarterbacks in a playoff game. The lights might be too bright. It's the 8 p.m. game. It's prime time. Granted, all these are standalone games, but I agree. Playoff Baker.
Baker's a dog.
He's
My
going to be a
score
dog.
this one's 24-21 Bucks.
27-20 Bucks.
We've picked the same all the games so far, Drew.
What do you mean?
We've all picked the same winner.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to as well. I'm picking the Bucks because though Jaden Daniels looked terrible against the Cowboys. And I believe they had some incentive to win the game.
They did. They needed to win to make sure they locked up their seed.
Yeah, them and the Packers and whoever else. No, that would be it. Just them and the Packers are competing for the seeding. And Jaden Daniels comes out. He goes 6 of 12 for 38 yards.
Ooh.
And was sacked 4 times. He got pulled not because they were running away with it and had the game in the bag, but because he was so bad and getting hit so often that it was not worth it for them to keep him in. So, and Mariota came in and played actually better, but that's a topic for another day. I think the Bucks win. The Bucks have a worse defense than the Cowboys. I know the Cowboys' defense started the season abysmal, but towards the end it was not too bad. The Bucks' defense has been pretty bad all year. They let Kirk Cousins throw for 500 yards and set the single game passing record for the Falcons on the same day that they honored Matt Ryan, which was hilarious. But I like the Bucks. I think the Commanders, like you said, Nolan, they could pull this out somehow, some way. If the Buccaneers defense just lets Jaden Daniels sit back there and toss bombs. But I like the Bucks. I like Baker. Playoff Baker. Well, I think he pulls it off. But I'm going to go. What did you go, Dillon?
24-21.
Give me
Liberty. Give me that.
Yeah, I'll take some of that. Give me 28. 24.
So Drew is the only one that would pick the over. The over set at 50.5. Right now, me and Gill both had an under scoreline.
And then the last game of the weekend. Now, the last game of the weekend. Vikings-Rams. And heading into Week 18, I would have felt good taking about the Vikings. But how the Vikings played against the Lions, how Sam looked against the Lions, I'm kind of turned off by it at the moment. You're going up against Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay, who have been there, done that. It's in LA. I'm taking the Rams in this game. They're 1.5 point underdogs. I'm sorry, Cam.
It's 1 now.
FanDuel still has 1.5.
It basically means even.
Yeah. I'm sorry. This isn't anything against you, Cam. I just don't know if I can trust Sam in a playoff game. This is his first playoff game, and last week was essentially a playoff game for them. And he looked bad. He was missing guys high. If he finds Jordan Addison in the end zone when he's butt-ass naked open, it could be a different game. I don't trust it. This is more, I don't trust the Vikings. Am I surprised if the Vikings win? Absolutely not. But my gut tells me Rams win this game like 31-21.
Interesting. My take on this one is I do have the Vikings winning. Couple reasons. I think the Lions game was a truer version of Sam Darnold that we've been kind of talking about all year. Couple of things happened in that game. One, he was under pressure a ton. The O-line of the Vikings played like doggy doo-doo. That's a true statement. Sam Darnold also missed wide open touchdowns. Both of which throws, he had an opportunity to hit both guys. That is also a true statement. So I think multiple things can be true here. He was under pressure a lot, but he also played like crap. Cam will tell you the refs were the reason the Vikings lost. We're all going to disagree with that. Lions had twice the penalties that the Vikings did.
But they should have had double that.
Cam did say that. But nonetheless, I think it was more of a blip on the radar. I don't trust the Rams defense. I think their offense can go toe-to-toe with anybody with the weapons they have. But I think the Vikings defense is good, at least good enough. And I don't think the Rams will have enough. I think the Vikings will make a couple of plays late in the game to seal a win. And so my prediction here is, gosh, I think it's a close one.
I could see it being close.
I'm going to go with a weird score here, 27-25.
Interesting.
Something weird's going to happen.
I just also think if it's a shootout, I trust Matthew Stafford more than I trust Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I do think you have some Jets PTSD going on there because Sam Darnold's played well pretty much all year except for one game.
He has. I'm not going to take that away from him. But that last game was a playoff game, essentially, and he didn't look good. Matthew Stafford's been there. If that offense, when they're clicking, they're hot. And Sean McVay or his former coach, somebody that was on McVay's staff, like I'm going to take McVay every time. I'm probably going to be wrong a couple times, but give me McVay and Stafford over O'Connell and Darnold.
Well, I'm going to take the Vikings. The Rams could win this game. When their offense decides it wants to operate well, it will decimate anyone. The problem is that happens rarely.
All it needs to do is happen once. Just needs to happen this week.
It does need to happen once. But what are the odds that it happens once? Not as high as you'd like it.
I still like my odds.
So, while the Vikings did have a stinker against the Lions, who, by the way, let's not forget, are a good team.
They're a great team.
Even though they are a little hurt on defense, not even a little hurt, a lot of hurt.
They're obliterated on defense.
Mega super hurt on defense. They still called a good game on defense.
Aaron Glenn
had changed up. I saw a stat that they were league average on like cover 0 going into the game, and they came out of it like top 9 or top 6 in cover 0. So
they basically just said they had the J Jet as kryptonite that no one knew about.
Yeah. Who the hell?
But they called up the defense to stop the Vikings. It worked. Vikings have been not dominant all year, but not bad for sure. I mean, they're a 14-win team. And
right.
The Rams again have shown glimpses of being a great team, and also plenty of games where they barely scrape by and pull the game out. And if we're all just guessing here on which one we're going to get, I'm going to guess that the Vikings end up winning this game in a low score, and it's going to be 21-13 Vikings.
Yeah, Vikings have the number 5 scoring defense in the league, so they have a blueprint. But I think the question will be: did the Lions show the league what the blueprint is against the Vikings?
Something I forgot is people are calling it. What are they calling it? Dang it! What do they call it? I forget. But it's the someone made up a term for playing the Lions the week before and how that team ends up losing the next week pretty much every time.
Mm-hmm.
So, thinks the Lions
gotta watch out for that. Yeah. So watch out for that, but it'll be a coincidence. I don't know.
Like I said earlier, would I be surprised if the Vikings win? Absolutely not. But if I'm going to take an upset this week, I'm going to take the Rams as the upset. Which, if you're looking at the slate of games, we all picked who we think's going to win. Which team would be the most shocking if they won?
Steelers.
Drew?
Who would be the most shocking if they won?
Who would you be
I'd change my answer.
Shocked the most by if they won this weekend?
I think it's the Packers. I think it's the Packers. It's not the biggest line, but I mean,
I'm thinking either them or Broncos.
Broncos is a good one. I'm thinking it has to be the Texans.
Yeah.
Which is
it
last
feels
time their
wrong.
starters played,
it does
they scored
feel
2
wrong,
points. So
yeah,
it's good. Yeah.
I mean, their starters started against the Titans, and then
for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, they went down the field against Titans.
I'm not worried about that.
We're all impressed by
against
that.
the Titans, trying to get the number 1 pick.
Yup. Is it Texans, Drew?
I don't love the Texans pick that I just made. I don't think it would be that surprising, I guess, but the way that they played lately, kind of. To be a home team and you're the underdog, Go ahead. I'll go with Texans.
I'll take Broncos just because they're the 7th seed. It's a rookie quarterback going to a hostile Buffalo environment. I'd be the most shocked if the Broncos won.
I think
When
Phoenix
was the
agreed.
last time a 7 seed won a playoff game?
I feel
Last year?
like recently.
It was last year. It's last year.
It was the Packers, wasn't it?
It was the Packers, yeah.
The
First
only
time.
time a 7 seed has ever won, actually.
First time, yep. That was cool.
You're definitely still not heard about that one.
No. No. Never.
All right. Before we start the playoffs, do we want to make our Super Bowl prediction, who we think before all these playoff games start, based off of who is in the tournament, who our 2 Super Bowl teams are, and then we'll get your quiz, Dillon? Because Dillon does have a quiz for us.
I do. Bills Lions, because it would be the most fun.
That's mine as well. Bills Lions.
It would be, but who did I pick? Let me take a look.
Yeah, we did do this already.
So I took Bills Lions, and then I took Lions to win it because I could
took
not.
Texans. I took Texans 49ers, didn't I?
Oh, like
We're
Like
talking
way
about
back.
the bracket we just made.
oh,
Big
way
dog.
back,
Oh.
way back.
Yeah, way back.
We're talking about now in this pigskin bracket challenge.
I got Chiefs Lions.
Oh, in that, I think
The Lions win.
I had the Eagles winning in that one.
That's gross, man. Don't
Really?
ever do that again.
I'm sorry. I did. I think I had Eagles beating the Bills. That's on me.
I've got Lions beating the Bills. My AFC Championship game is Chiefs-Bills. My NFC is Lions-Eagles.
It's pretty chalk. 1-2
Yeah.
versus 1-2.
Yeah. I pretty much went chalk there. So,
Mine's Chiefs Ravens, but also Lions Eagles.
so we all got the Lions winning or making it there.
Yeah, I mean, because
When
the
you go on
Lions,
when
the
you go on the
Lions are going to
bracket,
play
it
who?
shows
The Lions are going to
Wait,
play
no, you have
either.
Eagles. You have Eagles.
Yes.
That doesn't know anything.
The Lions are going to play either. They'd play Green Bay, but if Philly wins, then they'd play Washington, and if Tampa Bay wins, they'd play Minnesota or the Rams. So
Yeah.
I think Lions are favored against any of those teams.
So
Yeah.
in the pigskin bracket, the Lions have been picked to win the whole thing in 38% of all brackets,
It's probably number one, isn't it?
which is number 2 is the Bills at 18.5%.
They're 15 in whatever, right? Or 16 in. They're popular pick.
15
Man.
and 2.
My biggest fear is just the
Oh,
Chiefs being the
16 and
Chiefs.
1, right? Lions are 16 and 1. Or am I
15 and 2.
15 and 2? Sorry.
15-2.
Sorry.
The Chiefs are 16 and 1.
That's why I got the Chiefs going.
The Chiefs are not 16 and 1. They lost. It's 15 and 2 as well.
15
I
and 2.
thought they only had one loss. We'll say
They
lose
did
to.
before the Broncos.
Oh, that's right. I scratched that game out of my head.
If 17 and 0 was on the line, they would not have been
Yeah.
sitting.
Yeah, there's no
That's a
way.
good point. That's a very good point. The Chiefs are my biggest outlier here, just because Patrick Mahomes, playoff Chiefs, Andy Reid. I could see them going sicko mode or just
Honestly,
making it,
yeah.
finding a way back to the Super Bowl. But I don't. It's so hard to three-peat. It's so hard to repeat. Three-peat in a league that has so much parity. It's so difficult for me to pick the Chiefs to do it again. I would not be surprised at all, though, if they did.
I'm picking
Never
them to
happened.
at least make it until proven otherwise.
Yeah,
And that's a safe bet.
they had the worst team they've had in years last year, and they won it all anyway.
So much bullshit.
All right, you guys ready for my quiz?
Let's do it.
No.
It's another one where we'll just feel it out, but first to 10 maybe or something.
Yeah.
But we are going to name you guys, not me, I know them, the top 25 playoff career passing leaders.
Playoff.
Yards or touchdowns?
Yards. And,
Can I go first?
Who goes first?
I go first?
I could flip it, or I could say Gill because he won the pick'ems.
Okay, that's fair.
Tom
Go
Brady.
ahead. He is number 1. Correct.
Montana.
He is number 6. That is correct.
Manning. Peyton Manning.
He is number 2. That's correct.
Big Ben.
He's number 3. That's correct.
Steve Young.
He is number 18.
Give me Breeze.
He's number 7. No strikes so far.
Is Mahomes already on there? Give me Mahomes.
Yeah, he's number 8.
Give me Staubach.
He's number 22.
Wow. Wow.
I just know he's been there a bunch. They weren't throwing a lot, but he was there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then shit, was Bradshaw there?
He was. He's number 14. This is a clearable board. You know all of these players.
Aikman.
Yes, Aikman is number 13.
Rodgers.
He's number 4, which is surprising, being that he always loses.
He always lost in the division round or the championship round.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least play. Or
He played 24 games, so
Favre.
Favre is number 5. Highest on the list is now number 9. Come on now, fellas. You got this. You got this. You're clearing this. I see it now.
Elway?
Elway is number 9.
I had someone in my mind. I forgot. Oh. What about Eli?
Eli is on here. I was surprised that he wasn't the next guess after Peyton was mentioned.
This might be a shot in the dark. I don't know how many playoff games he played in, but Phillip Rivers.
Yes, he is number 19.
I was scared to say that one, but if I had to, I was going with it. I'm thinking of some weird dudes, man. I'm about to
Start
start
naming them.
saying some
Start
weird
naming them.
stuff.
I won't stop you.
There's only
Flacco's on there.
Flacco is on there. He's
Oh,
number
he's gotta
17.
be on
Come on, Flacco been there so much.
Yeah, it's been.
It's just not something you would think of right away. As
Hey, he was letting it fly to Jacoby Jones.
Yep, Jacoby Jones. The Mile High Miracle.
He went to 2 Super Bowls, just 1 maybe. But
One.
it's enough.
Went
man.
to a couple AFC championship games.
Played 16 games, man.
It's a lot.
We're still waiting on 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 20, 23, 24, 25.
Is Josh Allen already on there?
Josh Allen is number 24 on the list
wow.
Ooh.
with 2,700 yards in 10 games.
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson is on there, number 15. Good pull.
Good pull, as I say, an active player.
Yeah. But he's been terrible, so,
You forget about the good parts.
yeah.
I'm trying to think of like quarterbacks.
The 2 that he went to.
I'm trying to think of quarterbacks that have been to a Super Bowl. McNabb.
McNabb is on here, number 16.
Good one.
Gill, you're at 10, but we're going to keep it going.
Yeah, well, let's see if we can clear the board.
Good job, Gil.
There's one guy on here that's tough. I would say the rest of them, you guys got it.
Are they modern or are they older?
You know all of these people. You've seen all of these people play. Some of them might have been highlights, but it's close.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I haven't seen all these people play.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I didn't watch Steve Young or
I'm
Joe
talking
Montano.
about the people that are left.
Okay.
There's a couple that are a little bit older, but like
Kurt Warner.
Yes, he is number 11. Oops.
Drew, did you say Jim Kelly at all? Jim Kelly.
He's number 12.
It's a good one. If he wasn't on there, that'd be crazy.
He went to 4 Super Bowls.
He
played in 17 games.
Wow.
There's still one person who has played in more games. That is the number 10 player.
It's a lot of games.
Some of these, there's one guy you definitely have not seen on here, but you know his name. So there's two guys that are going to be hard. We'll get to that in a second. You got 4 left: 10, 20, 23, and 25.
Man. I'm stumped here.
This is where the going gets tough.
Just can't remember how many times these players I'm thinking of actually would have been in the playoffs. That I know of, at least. Doesn't feel like that many. Give me... I was going to say something now. Give me... Andrew Luck.
No.
No way.
Strike one. But he only played like 6 seasons, man.
They were good. They were good during those seasons.
All right, Gill.
If Deflategate didn't happen, he would be on here. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely didn't lose that game 40 to something.
If you get this one wrong, Gill, I will drop a couple hints.
Dan Marino?
Yes, Dan Marino's number 10.
See, I've been thinking that for a long time, but when you said I watched these players, I was like, can't.
That's why I said the
highlights. Yeah, that's a weird way of phrasing that. You could have just said you have.
That's on me because
the host should have.
Of these
I watched
3,
him in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Of these 3 that are left, one you've watched, one you were alive for, one you have not watched. Those are the last 3. One quarterback is definitely our era.
Joe Burr.
Joe Burr is not our era, but no.
What would you call our era then?
Mid to late 2000s and early 2010s.
That's crazy.
We're old head, guys.
Our era starts 2014.
Not for me. I saw 2 Super Bowl rings before that, man, and a 3rd game.
You ain't see nothing.
One guy played as recently as...
How many playoff games Burrow got? He got 7?
No.
Not enough.
6?
5 maybe?
Not as many as you think.
He's been in the playoffs 3 years. My guess would be 5 playoff games for Burrow.
I'll Google that. You keep thinking. He only has 1,800 yards. 25th on this list is 2,600 yards. He's played 7 games.
You said 7, didn't you, Drew?
Felt. I don't remember what I said. I might have said 7. Yeah, I did say 7.
I mean, to be fair,
it felt like enough games.
He's one playoff game. He's one playoff run away from being there, and he made a Super Bowl run. So, won't knock it.
Yeah, I was thinking.
I won't knock it.
Whose turn is it?
Yours.
It's yours.
All 3 guys have played. 2 of them have played 10 games. One's played 11 games. But as I said, you're only gonna know one of these off the top of your head.
You said one of them played recently, right? Matt Ryan?
That is Matt Ryan. He's number 25th on the list.
Number 25th.
Whatever. So Gill's definitely the winner of the game, Drew. You can no longer catch him. 20th and 23rd are left. One of them you have seen. Maybe not, honestly, but you were alive for, and one of them you definitely have not. But here we are.
Matt Ryan, man, I was thinking him too, but I didn't.
I started just thinking like quarterbacks that played in Super Bowls.
And then you've been around long enough. One of them has played in a Super Bowl. I don't know if the other has. Yeah, one of them did not. Never played in a championship game, but he played for 17 seasons.
And one of them's someone we watched.
Maybe not.
Possibly watched.
You were alive for. Probably didn't really watch, honestly. Early 2000s. Early 2000s. The other guy retired in 2000. So.
Okay.
But he's a Hall of Famer, so.
Who was doing that in the 90s? Making the playoffs and not winning.
I'd give you the teams, but I think that would give it away.
I'm lost. Let Gill guess.
Did Steve McNair do it?
No, but I will give you a hint. That's close. In a specific way.
Well, it's not close to McNabb, because that's what Gill already said.
Right.
And it's not close to Steve Young, because Gill also already said that.
Correct. But it's close in a specific way.
What do you mean by that?
Think of the team, man. Think of the team that he played for.
Oh!
Say it.
Oh! Warren Moon?
Is Warren Moon. He is number 20 on the list. Hall of Famer, 17-year career.
This is a hilarious hint. McNair is close to Moon.
He said team.
They played on the same team, man. Kind of.
Titans, Oilers.
Warren Moon was an Oiler, but
I was like, well, I guess the Moon is kind of in the air, I guess.
Yeah. Last one, number 23, early 2000s quarterback, played in a Super Bowl.
Win.
Early 2000s, early to mid 2000s.
Played in Super Bowl early to mid 2000s.
Had a really good running back, and that was the main theme. He also played for 17 years for 4 teams. Threw for 36,000 yards and 212 touchdowns.
Did he win that Super Bowl?
No, he did not.
I'm trying to think. Like Jake Delhomme was Panthers
Very
in early
close
2000s.
in the year though. That was early 2000s. Get more mid 2000s.
2006 would be.
Would you like either the conference or the coast of the America that he played on? Like his team.
Hasselback?
It is Matt Hasselback. Good job. You did it.
Good job, Gill.
You got 15. Drew got 10.
That's why he won the pick'ems.
That's why he won the pick'ems. Because of his knowledge. Just a lover of the game, really. If I did touchdowns, the list would have been very similar, if not identical. It was identical, actually, if I did touchdowns, just in a different order. It's kind of crazy.
Makes sense. All right. I think that's going to wrap it for us here this evening at Party Chat Sports. Hopefully everybody has a great wildcard weekend. I'm sure Dillon won't, but we'll talk about that next week.
Don't put that on me yet.
Make sure if you do want to watch Dillon be miserable, go back and watch the Pittsburgh Steelers video that he has up at Party Chat Sports on YouTube. Check us out wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, wherever it is. We keep everything up to date on our TikTok at Party Chat Sports. Our Twitter at Party Chat Sports, but we also do have some TikToks at Party Chat Sports as well. Go make sure you like, follow, subscribe to everything and anything. Tell your friends, tell your family, anybody that loves sports. Whoa.
How did you do that? You're magic.
How'd you do that?
Dude, I don't know.
That's a one-time thing. It's a mystery.
He did that
That's
earlier in
crazy.
the year. He did that in an episode that was just that you were in Drew.
That's crazy.
I did.
It's like when Spider-Man finally was trying to figure out how to use his powers. Like he did it. And it's like
That's going to be me. That's going to be me on Saturday night. All right, anyway.
like, follow, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, tell anybody that loves sports as much as we do about Party Chat Sports. Until next time, have a great wildcard weekend. Deuces.
Peace.